Leadership, it's the invisible force that can make or break entire organizations. But what if I told you that the very qualities that propel leaders to success could also lead to their downfall?
Whoa, that's a provocative statement. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, we're diving into a fascinating concept today called the Icarus Paradox. It's based on the work of Dr. Jonathan Chuma, who's done extensive research on leadership dynamics. The idea is that the traits that make leaders great can also be their Achilles heel if taken to extremes.
Hmm, that's intriguing. Can you give us an example of how this might play out in the real world?
Sure thing. Think about a CEO who's known for their bold, visionary thinking. This quality might have led to groundbreaking innovations and rapid company growth, but if unchecked, it could evolve into hubris, causing the leader to ignore warning signs or dismiss valuable input from their team.
Oh, I see. So it's like a double edged sword. The very confidence that drove their success could potentially lead to their downfall if it turns into overconfidence.
Exactly. And it's not just about confidence. Dr. Chuma identifies several key qualities of great leaders that can become liabilities if not balanced properly. Things like vision, integrity, communication skills, empathy, and resilience.
Those all sound like positive traits. How do they become problematic?
Well, let's break it down. Take vision, for instance. A clear vision of the future is essential for inspiring and motivating others. But if a leader becomes too attached to their vision, they might struggle to adapt when circumstances change.
Ah, I get it. So it's about finding the right balance.
Precisely. It's a delicate tightrope walk. Leaders need to be confident but not arrogant, visionary but flexible, empathetic but not overly emotional. It's about cultivating these qualities while being aware of their potential pitfalls.
That sounds challenging. Do you have any data on how common this Icarus paradox is in the business world?
Well, while exact numbers are hard to come by, a study by the Center for Creative Leadership found that 38% of new CEOs fail in their first 18 months on the job. Many of these failures can be attributed to the kind of overconfidence and inability to adapt that the Icarus paradox describes.
Wow, that's a significant percentage. So, what can leaders do to avoid falling into this trap?
Great question. Dr. Chuma emphasizes the importance of self awareness and continuous learning. Leaders need to regularly reflect on their decisions and behaviors, seeking feedback from others and being open to criticism.
Hmm? That makes sense. It's like the old saying, the day you stop learning is the day you stop leading, right?
Exactly. And it's not just about individual leaders. Organizations can play a role too by fostering a culture of open communication and constructive feedback. This can help keep leaders grounded and prevent the echo chamber effect that often leads to poor decision making.
That's interesting. So, it's really a collective responsibility to maintain effective leadership. Are there any specific strategies or practices that Dr. Chuma recommends?
Yes, he suggests several practical approaches. One is the practice of reverse mentoring, where senior leaders are paired with younger employees to gain fresh perspectives and stay in touch with emerging trends.
Oh, that's a clever idea. It could help bridge generational gaps in the workplace too.
Absolutely. Another strategy is regular 360-degree feedback, where leaders receive input not just from their superiors, but also from peers, subordinates, and even external stakeholders. This provides a more comprehensive view of their leadership style and impact.
That sounds like it could be pretty eye opening and maybe a bit uncomfortable for some leaders.
You're right, it can be. But that discomfort is often where growth happens. Dr. Chuma also emphasizes the importance of creating a culture of dissent within organizations, where people feel safe challenging ideas and offering alternative viewpoints.
I can see how that would be valuable, but also challenging to implement. Do you have any examples of companies that have successfully created this kind of culture?
Well, one often cited example is Intel. Their former CEO, Andy Grove, famously encouraged employees to challenge authority and speak up about potential issues. This culture helped Intel navigate several major strategic shifts in the tech industry.
That's fascinating. So it's not just about individual leaders, but about creating an entire organizational culture that supports effective leadership.
Exactly. And this is becoming increasingly important in today's fast paced, complex business environment. Leaders need to be able to adapt quickly to changing circumstances, and they can't do that if they're surrounded by yes men or trapped in their own echo chambers.
So true. This conversation is making me think about my own leadership style. I wonder how many of us unknowingly fall into these traps.
That's a great point. Self reflection is key. Dr. Chuma suggests that all of us, regardless of our formal position, can benefit from thinking about these principles. After all, leadership isn't just about job titles, it's about influence and impact.
Hmm, that's a powerful idea. It shifts the responsibility onto all of us to develop our leadership skills and use them wisely, no matter where we are in an organization.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great note to end on. Leadership isn't just about positions of power, it's about inspiring, empowering, and serving others, wherever we find ourselves. And being aware of the potential pitfalls can help us all become more effective leaders.
Well, this has been an eye opening discussion. I feel like I've gained a whole new perspective on leadership. Thanks for breaking it down for us.
My pleasure. And remember, whether you're leading a Fortune 500 company or just trying to organize a neighborhood cleanup, the principles we've discussed today can help you become a more effective leader. Until next time, keep leading and learning.